Oh, waltz for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Well, when I was writing the songs that were going to become this record, a lot of them were coming from various and sundry places, and I've kind of trained myself to be open to inspiration, hopefully no matter where it comes from. And I was out for a run on an icy, wintry running path in Wascana Park in Regina, and I slipped and fell. And it was a pretty clumsy fall. And I mean, I did one of those things that we all do. I don't know why we do this, but like as soon as I fell, I got up, like hoping that no one saw me. Like you kind of look around, and I saw that some people had saw me, and they kind of snickered because it was a really clumsy, horrible Disney Bambi fall. And I got running down the running path, and I got thinking, I was like, and the chorus of this song started to write itself in my head right away. And the song is called "Carry On with Grace." And I got thinking, isn't this the stuff of life? You know, we all fall down. We all make blunders in our lives, and all we can do is we can't mope around and be ashamed about it. We got to just get up, so clean ourselves off, dust ourselves off, and carry on with as much dignity about ourselves as we can possibly muster up. Carry on with grace. And the song started to write itself in my head, but I got home and I finished it pretty quickly. The first time, this is actually the second sort of public performance of this tune. The first time I did it was actually on Telemiracle in February. Does anybody ever tune into Telemiracle by chance? Do we have a few? The guy who was the chair of the chair of the whole Telemiracle volunteer committee is here. Where's Tyler? He's here. There he is back there. Give him a round of applause. He did a whole bunch of work for the people of Saskatchewan last year. My God. But the first time I ever sang the song was on Telemiracle last year, and what happens on Telemiracle is when it hits 11 o'clock, the CTV National News has to play. So the only people watching at that point are people in Lloydminster, as strange as that may seem, but it's because they're watching other things. And I sang "Carry On with Grace," and I forgot the second verse on live TV. And I got to the verse, and I was like, like I just made an arse of the song. So tonight, I hope this doesn't happen. We're gonna see what happens. But here we go. It's a two-step. If anyone feels like dancing, you can. Here we go. Steady as you go, life's a two-step on a tightrope. You walk a line between water and wine, using your best move. Trust your gut, follow his lead, let it take you barefoot through those weeds. With any luck, your path will lead from hope to gratitude. Some of them miles are gonna feel like you're trying up here, and it's just your chance to show you got what it takes. When you fall, you don't fail. That's just part of finding your way. Dust yourself off, show them you can carry on with grace. Carry on with grace. And up on a throne in a castle high, on a bar stool in a roadside dive, you'll be asking yourself if you give it your best. So keep your feet on the dirt while you reach for the sky. Plant seeds is to go, they just might keep growing after your last goodbye, as I said. Some of them miles are gonna feel like you're trying to climb up here, and it's just your chance to show you got what it takes. When you fall, you don't fail. That's just part of finding your way. Dust yourself off, show them you can carry on with grace. Carry on with grace. Steady as you go, life's a two-step step on a tightrope. You walk a line between the water and wine, using your best move. Some of them nights are gonna feel like you're trying to climb uphill, but that's just your chance to show you got what it takes. When you fall, you don't fail. That's just part of finding a way. Dust yourself off, show them you can carry on with grace. Carry on with grace. Oh, carry on with grace. Brand new one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sometimes when I write songs, each one, they might have a little sort of a dream attached to them, and that one I have a very small dream attached to that one, and it is that someday I hope to get to perform it as a duet with Dolly Parton. It's just like a very small dream. Like it might happen. I don't know. I bet she'd be open to it. I really bet she would. Like, I just have to find her. That's yeah, she can't be that hard to find. We're gonna do a tune that's from my previous album, and I've been loving singing this song all the way across the country, and even it's a song that went over really well last year when we toured in England, and we're going back to tour in England in this fall again. But this tune is about being from a small town. By way of getting into it, by show of applause, is anybody here currently from or born in a small town? That's a higher percentage of the crowd responding than would happen in like Vancouver or Toronto. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I'm from a small town in Saskatchewan called Punashai. It's in the Touchwood Hills, like I mentioned. Very small farming town. I grew up on a grain farm near Punashai, and I was back there a few years ago. When this song came to me, I was waiting at the train tracks to get into Punashai. It's on the CN main line, a very busy stretch of Saskatchewan rail. Like the main line grain trains are going through there all the time, and the national pastime at Punashai is waiting for the train because you're constantly waiting for the train. And as I was waiting at the train, I had this memory go through my mind of waiting at that same train tracks as a kid on my bike when I was about 10 with my friend Kyle. And but as I drove into town, the song started to write itself in my mind, and it's called One Foot on Main Street. And it's about these small towns where a lot of us came from, and a lot of people end up moving away from them. But there's all these people out there in the world, as a lot of small towns have unfortunately shrunk. These towns have sent so many people out into the world who are amazing people doing amazing things, but they started in these places. And I believe we have so much to owe to these small towns for creating so many people that are sort of sent out into the world to do good. I can say a couple things about Punashai. I can say it's a place where at the age of 15, on a sheet of curling ice, I had my first rye and Coke served to me by 3 elderly States ladies from the community. Somehow, because it was in a curling rink, it was absolutely fine that I was a minor drinking in public, but that's curling. It's a place where I learned how to stack more food than humanly possible on a piece of royal Chinette paper plate at a fall supper so I could maximize my $10. And it's a place where I learned that colored marshmallows in Jell-O are salad. This is One Foot on Main Street. I would hear the horn blowing on the CN train, wait from my bike as a kid. Dream about where it could take me. I knew every house and every face inside. No one locked the door. Think about that place all the time. Coffee roll and twirling stools at the Chinese cafe. They'd solve the world's problems before 9 o'clock each day. The past is full of diamonds we once thought were cold. Mom shouting from front porches, come for supper before it gets cold. I grew up in a small town, I'm a small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I'm not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I know music up, windows down, setting ourselves free. First cigarette outside the dance at the high school, learning how to make mistakes, and goddamn it, we were cool. And midnight was on our minds. It seemed like only somewhere else there were fortunes to find. 17 loaded up the hatchback, come back once a year at Christmas time to see Mom and Dad. I grew up in a small town. I'm a small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got one foot on Main Street. Headed back the other day, took a drive. Grandma passed away and we said our goodbyes. Potholes and peeling paint, it seemed that the days some would never see the beauty in this place. And I heard the horn blowing on the CN train, and I was a kid on a bike. Those were simpler days. I used to know every house and every face inside. I wonder if they locked their doors. Think about that place all the time. I grew up in a small town. I'm a small town at heart. I moved to the city, but deep down I've not gone that far. No matter where my boots take me, I grew up in a small town and I still got one foot on Main Street. There you are. One foot on Main Street. I once sang that song in a concert in Swift Current, and there's some Swift Current people here today, and it wasn't you who came and said this to me. Someone came up to me after the show. It's Swift Current right here in the front row. And these people in Swift Current, someone came up to me and said, after I sang that song, because there's a line in the bridge at the end, it says, I wonder if they lock their doors as they go back to the town. Someone came up to me in Swift Current and said, just see, we don't lock our doors here. And I was like, don't tell that news too widely. But I was like, this is actually a really handy tidbit, because we're often driving back from Calgary late at night, and that's about where we get really tired. We can just walk into any house, like in Swift Current. This is pretty great. Do you lock your doors in Elbow? No one's going to tell me. Look at that, see? They've caught on. They've caught on, exactly. Oh, dear. Okay. Changing gears. There was an inevitable topic that had to come in, that started to play into my writing that came out on the songs on this new record, and it was an idea of the preciousness of time. And that where that came from is over the last 5 years, I've had an unusually sad thing happen to me. For someone of my age, anyway, it's I think it's unusual in that both of my parents have passed away in the last 5 years. 5 years ago, my mom first passed away very suddenly and unexpectedly, and then just this last September, in a really bad accident, my dad passed away after being in the ICU for a couple weeks too. And it's been a really crazy thing dealing with that grief. Of course, everyone deals with grief in their own way. It's really weird, as grievers know. It rears its head at the weirdest of times, like you're reaching for a box of cereal in the superstore and you start to cry and you're like, what the heck is this? And people around you think you're insane, and the beautiful part of it is about the arc of grief is there's a point where you start to cry in the superstore and people think you're insane and you don't care. Like, that's when grief is great. You're like, I don't care that you think I'm insane, this is good. And so I worked my way through it. And still working on it, but I've kind of emerged from the end of it with this overwhelming feeling of gratitude, because I feel grateful that I had parents who were wonderful for as long as I did. And it's not as long as I hoped it would be, but it was a pretty long time. And they raised my brother and sister and I, did the best they could, and then sent us out into the world. and to either flounder a bit or succeed a bit or do the things that we were meant to do. And I was the first person in my family to go out and get a university degree. I was the first person to not use it in quick succession, much to my parents' chagrin. I didn't even go to my convocation. I was like, I don't want to do that. And they were like, no, go wear the robe. And I didn't do it. I wish I had now, of course. But they were great people. And in the wake of them no longer being here with me, walking around on this earth, I came up with this tune called "The Time You've Got," and it's about the preciousness of time. So if there's someone you've recently lost, this is for you. And if you're just sort of thinking about, if you've been thinking about time recently, and a lot of people are, this one's for you too. Here we go. Heard it said, you got one life, so make it count. That star you wish upon, go on and bring it down. Try to see the world in color, not white and black. Stand out in the crowd, don't fit in the back. Are you gonna wait till it's too late? Do it while you still can. Take a leap, see where you land. Oh, what you gonna do with the time you got? If you love somebody, then love them a lot. Live for the moment, give it all you got. What you gonna do with the time you got? Sure to say it out loud. If one foot's in a rut, use the other to turn yourself around. Know that there's strength in forgiveness, and if you're humble and kind, yeah, well, that's not a weakness. Are you gonna wait till it's too late? What you gonna do with the time you got? If you love somebody, then love them a lot. Live for the moment, give it all you got. What you gonna do? Watch the sunset, let your worries go. 'Cause life keeps moving like a river flows. It's the twists and turns that'll let you know what you gonna do with the time you got. Thank you very much. Woo! Thank you. Let's see, maybe we'll do 2x4 now. All right, so I'm gonna sing the song about the elevator. It's a tune I put on this last record of mine. It's called More Than 2x4s in Timber. And where the tune came from is I have this unusual fondness for grain elevators. I sort of know why, and it's because I think it's because my first ever summer job, growing up in small town Saskatchewan. I grew up on a grain farm by the town, but I started driving into town first of all in the grain truck, obviously, when I was about 14, along with my drinking at the curling rink when I was 15. You're getting a picture of what's going on here. But my first ever job was at the wheat pool elevator in Punashai, cleaning the boot. Do we have any farmers amongst us? So, or anybody who's ever been in an elevator. The boot is exactly what it sounds like. If you look at a map of an elevator, a schematic of the boot, this is really great. This is grain elevator nerdery here for you, but it's technically called the pit. But colloquially, it's called the boot. And the reason it's called the boot is because the leg of the elevator, the part that has all the scoop shovel things on it, that lifts the grain, that elevates the grain to the top so we can go down the bins, the leg goes down into the boot, right? But of course, elevators are very dusty places, and all that dust has to settle somewhere. It settles in the boot. Someone has to go in the boot and clean it out, and the entryway into the boot was very small. And it was never, strangely, the elevator agent who seemed to fit down there. The elevator agent hired an unsuspecting child from the community, much like 18th century England, to go down and do the dirty work. And I think Dwayne Weideman, to name names here, paid me less than minimum wage. But I did it anyway because I wanted to buy candy, so I did it. And I cleaned the boot, and somehow from there, myself and the mice and the dust and the rats, we developed this great relationship. And I've had a fondness for these things ever since. In Saskatchewan, these things peaked in numbers in the 50s. There were over 3,000 of them that had been built. Today, there are less than 175. There's very few left. And I was always fond of the idea that Elbow saved one. It's one of the things I always remembered of my first trip to Elbow was that you have one of these. It's quite incredible, actually. They're blowing over, they're falling over, they're burning down, but you've kept one. Now, Brandy did say it does need a coat of paint. There's something kind of rustic about it. There's something charming about it, but paint's cool too, so we'll see what happens with this thing. But I love it, I absolutely love it. So I wrote a song about what I think these things mean to prairie people, and it's called More Than 2x4s and Timber. And as I was down there as that kid, I mean, in that pit, I'm not even Catholic, but I think I discovered purgatory. Like it's quite the place down there. But I still love these things enough that I wrote a song about them. And I imagine one of these on its last day before being bulldozed, and what the scene would be. That's where the song comes from. Now, I was also given a tidbit to read about your elevator. So I'm going to read this. It's just a bit of history on this thing that some of you may or may not know, so I'll go through it here quickly. So Saskatchewan Wheat Pool A elevator was built in 1913 by the Saskatchewan Cooperative Elevator Company with a 30,000 bushel storage capacity. It was purchased by the pool, then known as Saskatchewan Cooperative Wheat Producers Limited, with its elevators operated by Saskatchewan Wheat Pool Elevators Limited in 1926, along with the other holdings of the Co-op Elevator Company. This was rebuilt in 1957 with wood siding and a 50,000 bushel capacity. A frame annex was added in 1952 for an additional 35,000 more bushels. A permanent crib annex was built in 65, adding another 88,000 bushels. The frame annex was later closed. The new elevator had a single elevating leg. Where does it go down into? The boot. See, you're learning. This is great. A 20-ton receiving scale and a 3-ton shipping scale added in 1974. The first elevator agent was E.H. Cooney from 29 to 31, and the last was Brian Wandler of Riverhurst from 1993 to 2000. I'm guessing it closed in 2000. Hey, there you go. So that's your history on the Elbow elevator. And this is my tune. More Than 2x4s and Timber. They drove for miles from every corner of the countryside. Tomorrow would be too late, so they came to see it just one last time. There was a TV camera there by the railroad tracks. Some folks were pointing, looking up at it, but most were looking back. Used to be 3 grocery stores in town. There's just one left. Padlock the doors, board windows up. Place looking a little frayed at the edges. is long since closed. Now they're gathered here to struggle with holding on, but once again letting go. It was so much more than 2x4s and timber. Bedless green elevator was coming down today. Under their breath, people say goodbye. They tried their best to take it all in stride. They just got used to doing it their way. Years that prairie skyscraper stood guard at the end of Main Street. Farmers measuring luck by the bushel haul trucks of what they'd reap. But the bottom line, nickels and dimes in progress had their say. You know, if you weren't from around here, it wouldn't really matter anyway. It was so much more than 2x4s and timber. Bedless green elevator was coming down today. Under their breath, people say goodbye. They tried their best to take it all in stride. They just got used to doing it their way. The bulldozer kept trying, they had a hard time getting her to move. Though no one said it, it's almost like they knew she had a point to prove. But all people looking on said, well, ain't that just how it goes? Nothing lasts forever. Kinda clearing their throats. Used to mean from a distance you were heading somewhere, wasn't heading here. Now more than the last grain elevator was disappearing. It was so much more than 2x4s and timber. Bedless green elevator was coming down today. Under their breath, people say goodbye. They tried their best to take it all in stride. They just got used to doing it their way. Two by fours and timber. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're doing some of these shows on the Prairie Skyscraper Concert Series inside some of the elevators, and what the audience doesn't know is that's my first opportunity to weigh them. This is going to be pretty, because they're all going to be sitting on the scale. Like, finally, I get to know how much my audience weighs. This is so great. God. We can actually place bets and give money to a local charity. Like, how much does the audience weigh? Oh, this is happening. This is good. Like, how much does Saudi weigh? This is really good. Speaking of places, I know we have folks here from Swift Current. I see someone from Eyebrow. Is anybody from further than Swift Current or Eyebrow? Like, do we have a far away contest going on here? Where are you from? Unity. Oh my gosh, that's far. You basically need a passport to get here for that. My God, good for you. Did someone else? Medicine Hat. Okay, winner. Wait in the very back. Oh, where in BC? Where? Elkford. Welcome from BC too. You know, I'm gonna go touring in BC, but I'm glad you drove here to see me too. That's great. I think we got. Let's see what we got here. Maybe we'll do Light a Fire, and then we'll do Sensations Sky. So what we're gonna do one more tune, and we'll be done the first set. We'll take a little break. I brought some merch. I have copies of my new record. If anybody's interested in some merch stuff, here's what there is. There's CD and vinyl of my new record, and there's CDs of my other records too. I have T-shirts. I have an unusual thing, and it's interesting because the makers of this unusual thing are here tonight, and this has never happened before. But there's a coffee roastery near Outlook. That's the best location I can describe it as. It's called the Prairie Bean Roastery, and they make a coffee roast that my last record, Just Before Sunrise, fit well with. And so there's this coffee called Just Before Sunrise that I have here too. And the makers of the coffee are right over here. So there they are, right there. The actual roasters. There they are. The Prairie Bean people. It's great to have you here. And also, I had a poster made by a wonderful artist designer in Winnipeg, a prairie skyscraper poster with a drawn image of a grain elevator. So there's someone's going to be manning or womaning the merch table. I don't know where did she go? She's here. Where? There she is. She's right there, front and center. You've changed your outfit though. Threw me off. So we're going to end the first set with a tune called Light a Fire. It's all about making a change in your life. And this song came from a visit I paid to I went with a friend up to visit his granny in an old folks home north of Toronto in this place called Stouffville. And this granny was a career piano player. She'd made her whole living playing the piano in dance halls around Ontario, which I thought was fascinating, you know? And I'm a career piano player, so she was always interested in asking me what I'm doing, and I was listing off the things. I said, I have a new record, and I have a video and a tour, and I was bragging away to her about all my things and trying to sound really impressive. And I said to her, a distinct memory, I said, my only dream with music was ever to have it be my full-time work, and it's become my full-time work for 17 years now. It's like my dreams come true. And she was standing there on her balcony in her house coat, in her 90s, smoking a cigarette, as you do. And I looked to people of a certain vintage to give us all back, like nuggets of wisdom that we can go and take away and chew on for weeks, because they have all this life experience and they can lob out these nuggets. And you go away and you feel like you've just been like a changed human being. And so I was waiting. I said to her, it's like my dreams come true. I've been doing this for 17 years. And I looked at her. She took a drag on her smoke. She looked at me, and I was waiting for the wisdom, and she said, sounds like it's time to get a new dream. So I had this co-write set up with a guy named Royal Wood in Toronto the next day, and we wrote a song about making a change in your life. This is it. It's called Light a Fire. Here we go. Bags are packed, some regrets are gonna echo around inside my head, but I ain't gonna be a headline in yesterday's news. The heart can whisper, the head has to choose. I'm gonna make a change, I'm gonna light a fire. I'm gonna sing it on out like a preacher to the choir. I'm gonna start with a spark, let the flames burn higher. Oh, I'm gonna light a fire. Gonna light a fire. and Bessie on that guitar. Counting treasures when we're old won't be just coins of silver and gold. It's the riches of our stories that fill up our soul. I've been looking for the answer to find the love. I'm gonna make a change, I'm gonna light a fire. I'm gonna sing it on out like a preacher to the choir. I'm gonna start with a spark, let the flames burn high. Oh, I'm gonna light a fire. Yeah, gonna light a fire. Take a little break. And everyone. Ace of spades in my spokes, banana seat motorbike. The stars above decorated our nights. But at some point it just became more like rock, paper, scissors. Oh, find a flat stone, perfect to skip. See it settle on the water rising, beautiful left. Didn't know the land that make me smile. Some things just sort of happen. You don't know why. Rock, paper, scissors. High school made a 10, acting bulletproof. First set of wheels, cut myself loose. Diploma, jump, no parachute, dream so big you could fall right in. Got my first old house, bird in a cage. Started punching the clock, worrying about colors of paint. My edges wore off somewhere along the way. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, find a flat stone, perfect to skip. See it settle on the water rising, beautiful left. Didn't know the land, and it made me smile. Something just sort of happened. You don't know why. Rock, paper, scissors. Back then the sunrise was just a big orange colored sky. You blink your second alarms, cursing time. Part of you's what you end up leaving behind. Those constellations still marvel from where I stand, wondering is this where thought I'd land? Funny, some things just seem to happen. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, find a flat stone, perfect to skip. See it settle on the water rising, beautiful left. Didn't know the land, how to make me smile. Some things just sort of happen. You don't know why, no matter how hard you try. Rock, paper, scissors. There you go, our new one. Thank you very much. We'll do first part, okay? Okay, we're gonna do two more tunes because what's happening? Yes, I have Raynaud's syndrome in my fingers. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. But when the temperature gets below a certain point, like the blood stops flowing to my fingers, and I can't feel the piano keys with my left hand anymore. It's a bit of a problem. We'll do two more tunes, and then we'll wrap her up. So I think we're gonna do we'll do two tunes from previous records. I'm just picking these at random. Let's do Birch Bark Canoe. We'll do Birch Bark Canoe. How's that? Yeah. I need my good old G harmonica for this. Also gives me a second to just adjust my dollars and dimes here. Alright. This is a tune I wrote several years ago after a trip up to Lac La Ronge. I did a big rock and roll show in the Lac La Ronge United Church. And I was leaving town the next day and everybody said, before you go, make sure you see Robertson's Trading Post. Has anyone been? It's amazing, except it's closed recently. Sad. But I went in there and I saw the trappers coming in the door with their furs and the hides and trading them for dry goods like you would in the 200 years ago, or trading them for cash at the back trading counter. So that's to say, at Robertson's Trading Post, fur was a form of currency. And they also took Visa. And I used my Visa, and I bought a paddle, and it inspired this tune. It's called Birch Bark Canoe. Staring at the autumn leaves with hanging on the trees. Is that what I was like in the end? Falling far away from you, changing minds and changing you, saying maybe we're better off as friends. Flickered out, a fading dream disappeared down cloudy streets, churning with the rusted regard, and sailing out the water's flow to oceans of mistakes I've known is true. You wanna see them from afar. I throw a stroke, the ripples flow, we're drifting apart. But if just you and me were floating out to sea in a broken old Birch Bark Canoe, we both find a way to come back again together. Yeah, that's what we do. Oh, it's true. The yellow sun, the midday June, setting in a somber blue, and the shadows tiptoed in and took you by the hand, and they led you up a tidal way and left you living in haze like you'd follow, couldn't seem to land. I throw a stroke, the ripples flow and break on the sand. If just you and me were floating out to sea in a broken old Birch Bark Canoe, we both find a way to come back again together. Yeah, that's what we do. Oh, it's true. Second Bishop said in Regina, that was kind of shit. Let's try that again. Have you had a good time tonight? Elbows, Saskatchewan! There we go, there we go, there we go. Awesome. So I'm going to get you to sing with me here. I'm going to sing If Just You and Me, and you're going to sing back If Just You and Me. Then I'll sing We're Floating Out to Sea, and you'll sing We're Floating Out to Sea. It's a little call response section. I'm doing a show tomorrow in Yellowgrass. I want to say to the people in Yellowgrass that you sang the pants off this part of the song, so do me proud. But if just you and me, oh yeah, we're floating out to sea. Oh, but if just you and me, last one, we're floating out to sea, in the broken old birch bark canoe. We both find a way to come back again together. Yeah, that's what we do. Oh, it's true. We're going to finish this song up with just this piano and your voices and the nice acoustics of this gazebo. It sounds nice in here. Same thing, the call response section. I go first, here we go. Oh, but if just you and me, just you and me, we're floating out to sea, yeah. But if just you we're floating out to sea, blowing out to sea, in the broken old birch bark canoe. Very nice singing, Elba. Very nice singing. I think someone honked their horn. Are they listening in their vehicle? Oh, and yeah, of course, the sun's going to come out now. Look at that. Of course, that's exactly what's going to happen. The sun will come out. What happened with the Oilers? Did we get an update, by the way? They won. See, it all is coming up roses tonight. It really is. That's a miracle. That's like the first time since 1940 that happened. All right, so we're at the last song. So what? A couple quick things here. If anybody, so first of all, thank you so much for sticking it out. Those of you who did. This is a lot of people who stuck it out to this weird weather, and but I really appreciate that. This has been really fun. The first set, outdoors in the sunshine was great. The second set in the cold dark hurricane was also great. It was like two planets, two shows. If anybody wants any merch at the end, the merch table's still there. I think things are still kind of dry even. Yeah. Very capable merch selling by the merch volunteers. Thank you so much. Are there any cookies and pops left if anybody wants those? I don't know. Yes, there are. Really appreciate everyone being here tonight. Do me a favor and help me thank Bryn for coming to join me to play the guitar tonight. Thank you, Mr. Bryn Bessie. So, and I'll say a few more thank yous within the song here. There's the last. So we're going to end with a song called "Where I Belong." A song that's from my last record, actually. And there's a lyric in the song that says, "Things that don't come your way were never meant to be. Said in another way, try not to sweat the small stuff. Said in another way, try to keep your cup half full. Said in another way, if that doesn't work, there's always vodka, or therapy. Not even in that order, as a matter of fact. Or both. Exactly. And therapy. That's what I have to change it. And therapy, exactly. Let's see. And of course, this was the first show in the Prairie Skyscraper concert series. We have several to go. The next one is in Hepburn, and then we go to Southie. The Southie ones are inside the elevator. It's still an operating, functioning elevator that's used for cleaning seed and storing grain. And apparently I'm going to go the day before and do a lot of sweeping. I didn't sign up for that part, but that's going to happen. Then we go from there. We do one not too far from here in Riverhurst. They have an elevator, and we're doing a show outside their elevator too. We have an interesting one the day after that in Horizon, which is a ghost town in the southeast. There's nothing left. There's one house with people in it left in Horizon, and these elevators, and a church. The interesting thing about that show is the audience takes the train from Ogama to Horizon with their lawn chairs, and in a 1925 Pullman coach. They get off the Pullman coach and they come to a concert in a 1922 elevator, and then when the concert's done, they get back on the train, go back to Ogama. They ride across the prairie for 20 kilometers on this train that goes very slow, so it takes an hour. But it's a pretty cool thing. And then we do a show in Gravelburg, and we finish up at the Sukanen Ship Pioneer Museum just south of Moose Jaw on Sunday, July the 7th. Interestingly, throughout all this, I've learned, I had a message from an elevator in Val-Marie, Saskatchewan. They've actually refurbished and fixed up an old elevator, and it's in beautiful condition. They have farmers market. Elbow, take note. They have farmers markets in it. They redid the siding on the one side. They do movies on the side of the elevator. And the inside is all cleaned up to be their hope was to have concerts. So I'm going to be a concert in the elevator. It's pretty cool. We did a show in the theater in Stettler, Alberta, in April. Stettler has preserved an elevator. I'm now like throwing out unsolicited ideas to Elbow, but it's interesting though. Stettler also fixed up an old elevator. Didn't really know what to do with it for a long time. Now it's a coffee shop and a museum, and they're turning part of it into a climbing wall. I know. Who said they couldn't be anything? Have more than 2x4s in timber. Someone wrote that, exactly. Anyway, we'll get into the song here, and I'll say some thank yous within the tune. This is called Where I Belong. I've been lost, chasing the light. Learn to enjoy your counting bruises instead of counting on getting it right. My heart, it goes with the words, got me turning in my sleep. Say the things that don't come your way, you never meant to be. And I will run till I can run no more. Surrender like a wave, crashing on Rocky's road. And every twist and then I stumble down the road. Only help each day all you can really do is hope to see the next one. Round of applause for Brent Bessie on the guitar time. And while we're at it, help me thank once again the committee in Elbow that helped put tonight together. Big round of applause for the committee. Randy and folks. And thank you all for coming. I really appreciate that. This has been a really fun night. Really, really awesome. And all the helpers who helped hustle the equipment under the gazebo. I bet Celine Dion has that happen at every show. Shania? For sure, Shania. But I hope you enjoyed listening to the tunes tonight as much as we've enjoyed playing them for you. This has been really fun. Now put your hands together and help us sing this last part. Here we go. And I will run till I can run no more. Keep it going. Yeah, surrender like a wave crashing on a rocky shore. I stumble down a road, only help take me to where I belong. Only help take me to where I belong. Look after each other and have a great good home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
.306 vinyl, 306 vinyl. What's in the stack? What's in the stack? Billie Holiday.